What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new ASM1 in Advanced Warfare. So, you guys know there's a huge patch that came out yesterday. A big part of that patch was the weapons balancing update, and the ASM1 was actually the only weapon not to receive a buff. It's the only one that was actually nerfed. Everything else, the other 10 or 11 weapons that were included in this change were all buffed. They had their stats increased, but the ASM1 actually had a negative effect. So, I want to check out exactly what they did. Now, a Sledgehammer did give us some patch notes, and in those they said they'd reduced the initial fire rate of the ASM1, but I want to see exactly what they did, how much they changed it, and how much it affects this weapon now. Now, the reason why the ASM1 was so good before this patch is because of the way its fire rate worked. So the first 8 rounds of every time you started shooting actually shot at 1000 RPM, and then after those first 8 rounds, it dropped down to 760 RPM. So this is just, it's absolutely nuts. Like 1000 RPM is very, very fast for an SMG, and that's why I'm sure a lot of you guys experience this. Sometimes you would come around a corner, see somebody with an ASM1, you would have first shot, but you'd still lose that gunfight because they were shooting so quickly. Like, it was just an absolute melting machine. Medium to long range, that thing just took people out like it was nobody's business, and that's why it was one of the most used and definitely one of the best guns in the game up until this point. Now, what have they changed? They've completely taken out that first 8-round advantage, and they actually reduced the fire rate overall. So instead of starting at the first 8 rounds at 1000 RPM and dropping down to 760, the ASM1 is now just a flat 730 RPM across the board. It never changes, which is actually a pretty big difference. So it kind of loses that initial insta-melt ability that it used to have before, and it kind of evens the playing field for other things like the KF5, the SN6, the AMR9, stuff like that. Now, is it an awful weapon now? No, not by any means. I still think it's the best SMG in the game. I think it's definitely a top 3, maybe top 5 weapon in the game, but it's just not quite as good as it used to be. But it's still, it kills quickly. It's got a decent rate of fire. Doesn't have a lot of recoil. Out to those slightly longer medium range distances, you can still have some pretty good luck and some pretty consistent, winning gunfights at those ranges. So yeah, I still think the ASM1 is a very, very good weapon. It's just not quite the god gun that it used to be. So if you guys like using SMGs, use the ASM1 a lot. I encourage you guys to kind of branch out. Try out the SN6. Try out the KF5. Try out the AMR9. All 3 of those SMGs received buffs recently, and they're a little bit closer to the performance of the ASM1 if you're looking to switch it up a bit. But yeah, like I said, it's still a very, very good gun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think we're gonna do a couple more of these talking about some of the other weapons that were affected. The ARX 160 had a huge buff that I really want to let you guys know about. So if you guys be interested in that, make sure to let me know in the comments, and also hit that thumbs up button. And also make sure you guys check out the other video I put up today. I actually unboxed 100 advanced supply drops and got some pretty good stuff in them, so you guys don't want to miss that. Click the annotation on screen, go check that video out. It's definitely one of my favorites. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch y'all later. Peace out, guys.